I am convinced that most of us don't fulfill even 20% of our potential in our lifetime, not because we can't, but because we won't. And that's the good news. You actually can. And why don't we exactly? So today I want to unpack why, how to get there faster, how to go higher and go further than you ever dreamt of. But before that, I want you to ask yourself this one profound, deep question and be very honest, very vulnerable with yourself about it. What is it that you want in life? And how badly do you want it? Is it a longing? Is it a quest? Is it a mission in you? Are you clear on that thing? What is it exactly? Be very, very specific. Is it financial? Is it professional? Is it family? Is it impact in the world? What is it exactly? Think about this right now. Write it down somewhere. And I want to show you how to get there faster in just a minute. Before we do, I want you to subscribe, share, help us grow this channel so we can create more content like this. Welcome to Headspace. I will start with the bad news. Then I'll explain what the most effective, most powerful ways to get further and higher are. And then I will illustrate from my life, very specific examples, how that plays out, okay? So let's start with the bad news. If you want to grow, go higher, go further, if you really believe that you have this mission in life, this thing that you yearn for, you have to pay for it. The only question is, how are you going to pay for it? And there's no way around it. You're going to pay for it through time, through money, or through pain. So let me illustrate the least effective, the ineffective way that most people choose to live their life, and that's why they don't fulfill their destiny. It's doing it on your own. When you're going on your own steam, your own education, your own talent, your own context, your own limiting beliefs, you pay more of each of those three things. You pay with time because it takes you longer to get there. You pay with pain because you'd make more mistakes. And you pay with money because mistakes are costly and because you don't progress quickly enough to add value in the marketplace and actually make more money. Does that make sense? Okay, here are the best two ways to grow to fulfill your destiny. One is mentorship and the other one is coaching. A mentor is essentially a friend, a co-worker perhaps. It could be a boss, right? Somebody who you attach yourself to through whatever, partnerships, working for somebody, with somebody, or just a friend who you go, I want you to help me in life, okay? So it's a great way to grow. It will cost you less money because it's usually sort of free. It will cost you with less pain because that person's going to help you not make as many mistakes, but it will cost you more time because it's not structured, it's not focused. The main goal of the partnership is just sort of doing life together and helping each other out, but it's not your hyper-focused goal of where you want to get and how you're going to get there, right? And this is the tricky thing about mentorship, which is awesome. I really believe in it. It's that time is the most precious resource we have, and it just takes longer, that's all. Time is the most precious resource. It's not stretchable. You can make more money, but you cannot create more time for yourself. That's why coaching is the most potent, effective, powerful way to reach your goals. It will cost you less time because it's structured, it's step by step. Somebody usually specializes in something very specific. It will cost you less pain because you are in a high accountability environment. So you may make way less mistakes. But it's going to cost you more money because the person is paid, and the better the person is, the more expensive the service and the environment and the experience is. I don't want you to miss this. If you find a mentor, and especially a coach, the right kind of coach, you will have several game-changing things going for you. Here's the first one. You increase the speed and accelerate in your growth. You're collapsing timeframes. This is, as I said, the most important resource you have. Everybody has the same amount of time. This is the one unstretchable thing you have. So when you're collapsing a time frame, and think about this, you may figure something out, learn something new, gain a new insight into something within a week to a month that took somebody else, especially a mentor, years, sometimes decades. How much value is that going to create in your life? Number 2, decreasing pain. Okay, we can't avoid all the pain. Of course you can't. Of course you can't. Of course you'll make mistakes. But think about this. There's different kinds of pain. There's the pain of, okay, I made a mistake, I'm going to shake it off and move on. And there's the pain that knocks you out for a day, for a week, for a year, forever. If you have somebody who's experienced, who's an expert, they can help you avoid that kind of pain. The pain, the debilitating, paralyzing pain, the derailing pain. Changes your life forever. You cannot put a price tag on that. And then third is impact. Look, monetary or not, your impact in life is directly proportional to the value you bring to wherever it is that you're doing, right? It could be a marriage, it could be a relationship, it could be a church, a nonprofit, it could be the marketplace. The impact you're having is the most valuable thing. It's the value you create. If somebody is an expert in doing what they're doing and they're guiding you, and you start adding more value, more quickly, more deeply, with more quality, that is also a game changer. I want to illustrate on the example of my life the power, the game-changing power of what I'm telling you. Coaching and mentoring are the best ways to grow, to fulfill your destiny, to be fulfilled, to live out the mission you were given in life, to have impact, to change the world. I'll do chronological because I think that makes more sense, right? So I was young, in my 20s, I wanted to do music. I wanted to go into music industry. I was inexperienced, I was gifted, I was driven, I was hardworking, but I needed several things. I was missing a few pieces. One is management. The second one is music production capability. The third one is actually access to a music studio. At the time, you couldn't really record music at home like you do now, so it's much, much harder, almost impossible to do. So what I did is I entered a partnership with 2 guys who were gifted in management and in music production, and we formed sort of a company, right? That eventually became a very successful franchise, and we produced other bands and multiplied careers, solo careers, not only in music, but in acting, etc. And then we also entered a partnership that was more temporary with a music studio that was the best studio at the time, one of the few studios that we even had a chance to work with. By the end of the year, we had several recording contracts offered to us by 3 different record labels. That's the leap that you can make if you enter into the right relationships, the right coaching, the right mentorship. This was mostly mentorship. Okay. So what happened next? Well, became very successful, played sports arena, entertained millions of people, several records, produced other bands. I had serious flaws in my character. I didn't have a spiritual life that was healthy. So you start seeing cracks and you start seeing what you're missing, right? So I go to this church, meet this pastor, and I quickly realize that he has something I don't have. And I basically say, can you please teach me the secret of human flourishing? I didn't use those words, but that's what I was asking. And he said, yes, I'll use the Bible if you will listen. And I said, I will do everything you tell me to do. That was functionally a coaching, not a mentorship relationship, but a coaching relationship, because I cling to that man, his name is Andy, as if I'm clinging to Yoda, young Skywalkers clinging to Yoda and to every word he says, and he will obey without questioning the instructions. So that was a coaching relationship. It changed my life dramatically, quickly. I gained all kinds of skills, worldview changes, different lenses of looking at everything, relationships, life, purpose, professional development, all of it. And then after a while, I went, you know what? I want to learn how to do what he does. So I went in the ministry, and then I was mentored under him, and I worked with him, and I was able to, at an accelerated pace, learn not only to just get that for myself, but to teach others, train others, coach others, and speak to different audiences and appeal to different hearts in situations. So it was just absolutely invaluable, the abilities that I get and how quickly I got them. So I ended up building ministries and leading churches of hundreds and thousands in different cities, different countries. So that's the impact, okay? Now, fast forward a few years. I really had a heart. I was moved to learn about philanthropy, and I had 2 job offers. One was in ministry, and another one was in philanthropy. And the one in philanthropy offered an advantage and a cost, like the price you pay. The advantage is working with the 2 founders of an amazing, legendary charity that was global, and worked directly with them and under them. And the cost was I had to take a significant pay cut, almost 50% of the other offer. And I took the significant pay cut. That was my cost of acquiring this kind of coaching, this kind of mentoring. And I was thrust into the thick of it, into a top level game of helping people worldwide. And I was able to go to conferences and learn and have lunches and meetings with some of the most brilliant people in the field worldwide. The growth was remarkable, the experiences were remarkable, and the impact was remarkable because we were able to oversee projects in 9 different countries in the U.S., in Latin America rather. In the U.S., we had a national project that was media related, and that was part of the reason why they wanted me to bring my expertise to it. The media component of that multi-million-dollar project ended up getting a couple of remarkable awards in the media side, and it was a national project that had a lot of impact and actually was replicated in places like Mexico, Jamaica, Southeast Asia, and several countries. So the impact was tremendous as well. Fast forward a little bit more. I was very interested in the tech industry, in startups, and I had a lot of passion for it, but I didn't have any knowledge. And I was lucky enough to meet my now business partner, Brandon Nicely, who is an absolute guru in tech startups, in the finance side, on the tech side, on the product development side. And so we formed a company called Third Drive, and I was able to learn a wealth of expertise in the startup world. I was then able to have impact as well, right? So we consulted and helped companies raise millions of dollars. We did marketing for them. We got awards for that. I am now a equity partner in several tech startups, and that would not be possible if I didn't find the right person to walk me through this stuff and to accelerate my growth. So these are just the high-level examples I'm giving you, right? Just the high-level examples of how I've used this game-changing principle in my life to amplify my impact, to accelerate my growth, to broaden my perspective, right? And I've spent tens of thousands of dollars in more narrow, specific niches where I've hired coaches to teach me how to do this and to do that specifically. Could be in coaching, in very specific sub-niches of marketing, for example, just to name a few. But I want you to imagine your life. Imagine your aspirations. Now, your aspirations are not mine. Mine are not yours. You can extrapolate from my story that you can go higher and go further if you don't do it alone. And if you realize that mentoring and coaching, and especially coaching, will save you pain, will save you time. It might cost you some money, but the impact, the fulfillment, the happiness, the ability to live out a story that is epic, way beyond your even natural capabilities and talents, right? How that can look in your life in remarkable ways. Now, you might say, well, you're a coach. That's what you're saying. Coaching is most effective. That's why I'm a coach. And also, not every coach is right for you. So find a coach who solves the problem that you have. That's why I asked you in the beginning, what is it that you want? And how badly do you want it? Then look around and see who in your life is solving those problems. What's the evidence of their expertise? And then if you find somebody like that, pay them the money, go on the ride, and see what happens. I hope this has helped. It has helped me tremendously and changed my life forever. It's game-changing. And I hope it changes your life as well. Thanks for tuning in.